The 2021-2022 budget will be debated in the National Assembly starting Thursday, April 22nd. But the UDP, as the constitutional opposition, has already been dissecting and examining it. Appearing on national radio and television, Mesopotamia Representative Honorable Shine Barrow exposed it as a budget characterized by gross misprioritization.
So I've been going through the budget for the last week or so, and there is nothing in the budget that reflects the fact that we are in a pandemic. Social assistance has been cut, and there is no move to reopen the economy. So we can't have it both ways. Again, I understand the people that say, well, we don't want a population that is dependent on government. But all governments have a basic responsibility for the welfare of their population. And right now, we are in a pandemic. We are in a state of emergency. That's why we still have a curfew that restricts our constitutional right to free movement. Mm-hmm. So that needs to be reflected in the services that the government provides for the people. And I looked over the manifesto for the government, and the manifesto had promised that unemployment support would continue until the crisis abated. Mm-hmm. And that has not been the case. As I said, they cut poverty alleviation, they cut at least a couple $1 million in those services, yet they increased the Ministry of Infrastructure by $40 million. The Ministry of Infrastructure is the third most funded ministry in the current budget. So there really is a misprioritization right now in this budget, and as my family from Lake Independence used to say when he was in opposition, he used to say they are prioritizing projects over people, mm-hmm. and special interests over the interests of the people. So I am very, very disheartened that the budget doesn't reflect the pandemic that we are living in. It's not normal times. This is not people begging for hands out. This is not people want to be lazy and don't want to work. People can't work. Mm-hmm. If you're broke, you're broke. You can't be broke for human development, mm-hmm. but you have $40 million more forecasted for infrastructure than ever. I believe this is the highest infrastructure.
You're going to bring up at the debate,
and that is
where your priorities lie.
That is what the unions are saying. Right? That is what the unions are saying.
Feed people.
That's right.
I agree.
Don't go build feeder roads.
Exactly what the
bring it back to the
people.
people.
And let's reopen the economy. The budget for the Ministry of Infrastructure and Housing, because that minister is the Minister of Infrastructure and Housing, is $162 million. Not $1 is going to building one house of the 10,000 houses that they promised. Not $1 there for any type of housing assistance, for anything geared towards that promise. So again, the people in 2025, if they go that far, will remember these things, and it is our responsibility, led by the Honorable Patrick Farber, to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes of this government and we deliver for our people.
Don't miss the full rebuttal by Opposition Leader Patrick Farber leading off the debate on Thursday, and interventions by other UDP parliamentarians in the House of Representatives and Senate, shining the light on the government, defending the interests of the people, and keeping democracy alive.